as I said you in the last class, I have left with some the same points. So during last class, what we had, I have given you small doubts, right? What are alpha and beta form of glucose, and what are anomers and all, right? So as I said, these after formation of a bond that is aldehyde group with the fifth carbon atom, whatever the compound we will get, that is called hemiacetal type of glucose, right? So that is clear in the last class itself. But now I need to explain about alpha and beta form. So what I said, whenever the first carbon, I mean the aldehyde carbon reacts with the fifth carbon atom, then we will get two forms, that is alpha as well as the beta. So alpha form we will get after, I mean, if I heat this particular glucose at 303 Kelvin, then definitely what we are getting alpha form. Still we don't know what is alpha form and beta form among these two, right? So I will let it. And next one more form we are getting, that is beta form. So alpha form and beta form, dear students, here one we can decide based on the OH group present on the first carbon atom. That's why I have mentioned it with the star, right? So if you see the first carbon atom in the hemiacetal, you forget about this, right? So after heating it only, we are getting two forms, right? So this is the basic form, and then alpha and beta we will decide now. So if OH group is present particularly with this carbon atom, I mean the aldehyde carbon atom, if OH group is present at the left hand side, so now if I see like this, then it will be OH will be at the left hand side, then it is called beta, right? D plus glucose, beta D plus glucose, based on what? Based on simple, that is nothing but the OH group. In the first carbon atom, OH group is present at the left hand side, so that's why what we are saying this as a beta D plus glucose, correct? So now coming to this part, so OH, I mean in this hemiacetal part of glucose, structure of glucose, what we have our OH on the first carbon itself, we have our OH at the right hand side from the Weber side, right? So thus this is called alpha D plus glucose. Why? Because dextrorotatory only with respect to this carbon atom. See here, in glucose, what I said during the explanation, 99%, I mean, sorry, 90, nearly 90 to 95% of glucose, whatever we get in the nature, it is in the form of dextrorotatory only. That means with respect to CH2OH, the next carbon atom having OH at the right hand side, so that's why we said this as a dextrorotatory. Glyceraldehyde I took as an example and then explained, right? If you remember that. So now coming to alpha and beta again. So if the OH group on the first carbon atom, if OH group is present at the right hand side, then it is called as alpha D plus glucose. If the OH group with respect to first carbon atom, if it is present at the left hand side, then it is called as what? Beta D glucose. Isn't it? Now, what are anomers? Very important. One or two times this has been asked in your exam. So see here, anomers can be decided based on the same carbon. See now here, the carbon is same. I mean, that means the carbon number is same, and the compound is also same. That is glucose and glucose. Very important. Compound is also same. Number of carbon is also same, but in the with respect to first carbon atom, if the geometry changed, see here, OH is present at the right hand side, right? The same compound, if I consider as this as a C1, actually it is a C1 only. C1, OH is present at the left hand side. If this is the case, if there are two forms of a single molecule, and in those two form, with respect to particular number of carbon atom, in that if they are differing their configuration, then those are called as anomers, right? Try to find this word in your book. So anomer is nothing but, if I consider these as C1 and C1, then what we can say, if glucose differ only in the configuration of the hydroxyl group, that means OH group at the C1 position. Glucose differing the configuration of hydroxyl group at the C1 position, that means the position is same and molecules are also same, but the configuration is different. If they differ in the position, if they are having same position and same compound, they differ in their the configuration with the same position, then those are called as what? Anomers. So dear students, this is all about the cyclic structure of glucose. I have left, directly I am saying, I have left what? Haworth structure. So Haworth structure, if I explain here in the offline class, you won't able to understand, I'm damn sure, and I'm not having a complete assurance about your revised syllabus. In that they have given a Haworth structure will deleted, but it is why? Because in this chapter Haworth structure is only a very important part, but they have released this only. Whether they have skipped explanation or complete Haworth structure, I don't know. So after still more information, I come to know whether that part is deleted or not, right? If it is there, then definitely while we start this biomolecule in the offline class, definitely we go through, right? So this is all about this cyclic structure of what are glucose. So now, so this is the complete study one I can say about the glucose. We have discussed about the open structure of glucose, the common structure of glucose, and later optical activity we have discussed about the glucose, and now we have completed what are cyclic structure. So in cyclic structure, if you remember, glucose in cyclic glucose will not react with the Skipp's reagent, that is nothing but the sodium hydrogen sulfate. Why? Because in cyclic structure, as you saw here, in cyclic structure, this is the case. That means there is no aldehyde. We cannot say directly as no aldehyde group, but aldehyde group is not free, like you can see here. So that's why first point now you can understand. In first point, what I said, in cyclic structure of glucose, aldehyde group is not free. So that's why it will not react with the Skipp's reagent. Now you can conclude that point, right? So one we can understand now very easily. And the next point was, in glucose, aldehyde group interacts with the fifth carbon atom. After interacting with the fifth carbon atom, definitely what we are getting? We are getting the two different forms, that is alpha and beta. And alpha, when I heat the glucose, normal glucose at the 303 Kelvin, then I will get the beta form. And if I heat that with 371 Kelvin, that particular natural glucose, then I will get alpha form of glucose. That is the case we have discussed about. So now the next part is one more monosaccharide, that is fructose, right? So I will just give a idea about this fructose in this class, and in the later class we will go in detail. So fructose is a one more what I can say monosaccharide, and here the molecular formula of glucose as well as fructose is same, right? Very important. Glucose as well as fructose is same, but they differ in their functional group. In glucose, see, in glucose we have aldehyde as a functional group. In glucose we have aldehyde. Very easily one we can say aldehyde as a functional group. But in fructose we have a ketone group. So as a functional group, right? This is the difference, but they are having same molecular formula. That is the case. C6H12O6, and here also what we have, C6H12 O6. Both these two are having same molecular formula, but they differ in their functional group. So this is very important point, right? So in glucose, now after seeing these two, one you can say, sir, how come they become two different monosaccharides? So this is the thing where we decide whether it is ketone, whether it is fructose or a glucose. So if it is a glucose, then definitely in that we might come across with the aldehyde group. If it is a fructose, then definitely there is a ketone. I will show you the diagram also. So now one you can understand. First I will write the diagram of glucose, open structure of glucose, and then later I will give you a structure of fructose. See now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. CH2OH, OH, OH, H, OH, CHO. And now H, H, OH, H. So this is the case with the glucose. It is our glucose. So now CH2OH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. CH2OH, OH, OH, H, double bond O. Now, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, OH, H, H. Now count the number of, empirical as well as the molecular formula when we can say C6H12, it is very sure. Now here 3 H I am counting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So based on H only one we can say the compound is correct. So now see here what I said. If it is a ketone, it is a ketone, right? If it is a ketone, then there will be what? Presence of, sorry, not ketone, fructose. If it is a fructose, then there will be a what? Ketone as a functional group. So what is ketone? Already I have explained. R and R. Consider this as a middle C, and now there is a R, alkyl group, and here there is also a R. There is one more R. That means it is a ketone, right? And now coming to the glucose, there is a one we can very clearly see there is a aldehyde group. So that this is the first and foremost difference between aldehyde as well as the ketone. So dear student, this is all about today's class. In the next class, we will go in detail about the fructose. Thank you.